Just a quickie, my friends. Do people need to wake up? They need to wake up. Or do we need to wake up? What type of waking up exists? What type of waking up are there? There's informational waking up and learning new things. There's a waking up that we are not just our bodies, our concepts, our thoughts, our belief system. We're not just our religion, we're not our gender, we're not our age, all that, our identity, waking up to the formless inner spirit and divine being that we are on an experiential level, where we're alive and we know we're separate to thoughts and separate to our past and separate to our future. We're in the now, we are the now. There's what I like to think of, there's a waking up of our heart, living from our heart and love and compassion. But for me, the biggest, my second waking up after the one about our true form, our true identity, happened the last year or so to me, and that is waking up to what I was blind spotted about previously. I woke up to realize gradually, incrementally, through the challenging of my beautiful relationship, which unearthed my traumas and by triggering me, unearthed traumas from the past. I woke up to realize my blind spots and my reaction behavior and reaction emotions. Like, that's what the triggers, the blind spots, that's what the triggers and the pain was. But when we're unconscious and we're more like asleep in that type of area of our life, we think that the emotions that are being stirred up are the current person's, the current messenger or the triggerer. It's their fault and they're the ones doing it to us and they're to blame. So that's like an unconscious pattern. So when I woke up the second time, this time around, it was like a big shift and a monumental change in my relationship. So when it comes to the world situation, do they need to wake up? People need to wake up, or do we need to wake up? Do we need to wake up from our heart, deep in love and compassion, wake up about our triggers and how we're busy judging and resisting and inner anger, like judgment, tension, stress, a big ball of like energy within us that doesn't feel good? Maybe we need to wake up. That's what I feel is much sweeter and nicer, instead of focusing so much on other people, because that's a massive part of awakening. And I just call it loosely my second awakening, my big shift, second big shift in my life of monumental proportions, which led me to my beautiful soulmate type of beautiful high frequency type of relationship, much higher than what used to be, just huge, slow, gradual progress. But there was a shift with the second type of awakening I'm describing. So what I want to say to all my beautiful people watching, all my friends and people of the world, like, I encourage you to sort of try do the whole waking up of yourself, and don't focus too much on what others are or aren't doing. Focus on what you are or aren't doing, and focus on how you're feeling. That's the crux of the matter. That's the deep down biggest truth. So everything that happens on the outside is almost just like a messenger. It's a present. It's the present, because it's always the present moment. It's always that present moment experientially. So the present is a present. So what happens now in our now moment is a gift to show us, partially as well as just the pure, beautiful, joyful experience of life too, and to being alive and experiencing. But it's also a gift to show us something that maybe we could help us to raise our frequency and consciousness. So that's all I want to say. So use what's going on and your own emotional, mental reactions. Use it as a wake-up call for yourself, so you can like grow and expand and to be the change that you want the world to be. Because we're never going to just wish the world to be different. We got to be the change. And when enough of us be the change, then there's loads of other people around us who've done the inner work. And now suddenly we find ourselves surrounded by people like us who have raised their vibration and are more enlightened and awakened. So more enlightened as in lighter in our thoughts, lighter in our hearts, lighter in our spirits, lighter in our body, all that sort of stuff. So that's all I want to say, my friends. Loads of love. Look within instead of pointing outward, okay? And then from this heart's energy, we can take action in the world, which is positive too. Be involved. But it'll be from a higher, nicer frequency. And from this frequency, every frequency is like a tool. And depending on the frequency, depends on the outcome of the tool. So it's like you can, but depending on your frequency, you'll help produce much more like positive effects. But if you're lower frequency from like anger or hatred, and you're just like smashing things and lashing out unconsciously, obviously that doesn't produce the heaven on earth that we want. kind of funny. But the less judgment we have, and the more heart-centered and healing we do in ourselves, in our work, then we take really good responses towards situations and typical. And if we make like an experience that some people could call a mistake, which is never a mistake, we learn from it, and we can go back on it, make amends, or at least learn for the next time. And as simple as that. Happy Christmas, Happy New Year, my friends. Loads of love to you. Ho ho ho! I'm coming down your chimney tonight.